titled The Shift is Here, Living from Expanded Consciousness in a Changing World, from Autopilot to Aligned, the Ascension Process for a New Way of Living. Yes, that's a big title. And so again, my name is Brigitte St. Jean. I am a transformation coach, a speaker, and author of the short book, The Ascension Process, Living the New Paradigm. And today, hi, Ezra. And today I want to share something with you that I feel strongly in these moments, in these times, because it touches all of us. And so let me just, advance the PowerPoint. And so what it is that the shift is here. It's happening right now in our world, in our communities, in our very own hearts. And the old paradigm, which was built on fear, conditioning, external validation, it's falling away. It's falling away. And a new paradigm of expanded consciousness, authentic living, and soul-aligned action is rising. And here's the truth. We are not only going through the change, we are the change. We are the change. But even as the world transforms, many of us are still caught on autopilot, meaning saying yes when our soul really says no. You know, living through with the shoulds, woulds, and I need to. Pushing through the motions without truly feeling alive. That is autopilot. And so before we go any further, I want to ask you 3 simple questions. And don't overthink that. Don't overthink it. Just let the answers rise as they will. And so the first question is, I'm going to forget my PowerPoint here. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, so the first question I want to ask you is, where in your life are you on autopilot? Where in your life are you running on autopilot? The second question is, what is it costing you to stay on autopilot? And I apologize if you hear the construction behind me here. I couldn't I couldn't imagine that they would do this today, but we'll deal with it. So the second question is, what is it costing you to stay on autopilot? And the third question I have for you today is, if you were to live fully aligned with your soul, what would become possible for you? So again, if you were to live completely, fully aligned with your soul, what would become possible for you? And so let the answers rise and hold them close, because at the end of this talk, we'll revisit these questions. And you may be surprised at how your answers shift once you awaken to what is really possible for you. All right, so how do we move from autopilot to aligned? How do we move from autopilot to aligned? And that's the heart of what I call the ascension process. It's not abstract. It's not far away. It's a living, breathing framework that you can begin today. And so there are 3 pillars that carry us into the new paradigm. There's first awareness. The second pillar is alignment. And the third pillar is conscious co-creation. And so the first pillar is awakening awareness, because we know autopilot shows up in sneaky ways, right? Like saying yes to hosting the family dinner when your whole body is begging for rest. Or scrolling endlessly on your phone late at night when your soul really wants silence and reflection, and your body is craving sleep and regeneration. Or, and this was my example, staying in a job that drains you because it's safe right? Because it's expected. Even while your inner voice whispers, this isn't me. What am I doing here? I'm so unhappy. Is this it? And last but not least, example of autopilot is showing up for everyone else. And women relate to that so well. Showing up for everyone else every time while quietly abandoning ourselves. Has anyone here ever felt that? I'm sure, yes, one of these situations. And that's autopilot. Autopilot. But the truth is, this autopilot mode, it's not who you are. It's not who you truly are. It's just the program, the pattern that has been running you and me also in the past. But here's the key. When you start to notice the pattern, the program, the conditioning running, when you start to notice the pattern, you step into the power of the observer self. And the observer self is the part of you that can observe apart from the conditioning, the patterns, the programs stored and running in the unconscious mind. The observer self it's the conscious mind interpreting what is actually happening beyond the pattern, the program, the conditioning. So the observer self is the higher part of you, the higher part of you that can say, wait a minute, stop for a second. I see this. I'm not my reactions. I'm not my conditioning. I'm not this conditioning. I'm not this pattern or program playing and running in the background. I am the chooser. I am the chooser. And when you live from that place, even just for a moment, you awaken. You create space for change. Absolutely. And this is what I do in my coaching every day. I help women catch those patterns, name them, and rise above them. Because when you see the pattern, when you start noticing the pattern, you can absolutely shift the pattern and repattern. When you become aware that you're not consciously deciding this thought pattern or behavioral pattern, you step into your creative power. And so the second pillar of the ascension process is energetic alignment. And here's what both quantum physics and neuroscience and sciences show us today. And stay with me because this is very powerful. So at its core, matter is only energy vibrating. So scientists looked at solid matter and went to the infinite small, going through the particles, seeing what's in there, the neutrons, the protons, the electrons, what's in there. And what they found was nothing else than little vortexes of energy vibrating. And so also science found that your thoughts, our thoughts are potent energy. Our thoughts are potent energy and they influence how energy vibrates. And that vibration, excuse me. So our thoughts influence how energy vibrates, and that vibration ultimately shapes matter. So in simple words, energy creates matter. And in the old paradigm, we thought that we had to move matter to create energy, but it's the contrary. Energy creates matter. But what does that mean for us? I'm so sorry, I'm losing my voice here. So what does it mean for us? That means that our inner frequency, Our vibration creates our outer physical experience. That is mind blowing. Total paradigm shift. Everything in the universe is a pattern of vibration. How awesome is that? And the moment you shift the vibration, you change the pattern. How awesome is that? So when you learn to raise your frequency with gratitude, with focused thought, with vision, with presence, with heart-brain coherence, you literally begin to rewire your whole reality. You change your outer experience by shifting your inner energetic state. And this is why I do not only teach concepts, I guide women into practice. Simple, powerful tools to align their energy every single day. Because aligned energy isn't just theory, it is transformation happening. Aligned energy is transformation in real time, happening right now. Okay, so let's do just a short exercise, 30 seconds together. Close your eyes if you're willing. Close your eyes and let's just take a few breaths. So breathe into through the nose and breathe out through the mouth as if blowing out through a straw. Let's do a couple more. Breathe in and breathe out through the mouth. And one more. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And so bring to mind one thing, just one thing that you are deeply grateful for. It could be a person, it could be a moment, it could be as simple as the warmth of the sun on your skin or the laughter of someone you love. Bring that to mind. See it in your mind's eye or hear it in your mind. For me, that moment of gratitude was the first time I held my child. Such gratitude. And you see, as you breathe into this, notice the changes in your body. Notice how your chest softens maybe. Maybe you smile. Notice how your energy shifts. Did you notice how my energy shifted? This is what alignment feels like. So in just 30 seconds, you raised your frequency. You became a conscious creator of your energetic state. So imagine what happens when you make this a daily practice. Did you feel that shift? That was a mini frequency reset. Proof that in just moments you can change your state, change your vibration, and begin to change your reality. And here's the most powerful part of this. When you awaken your awareness, when you align your energy like this, the next natural step is to live as a conscious co-creator. And that is pillar 3 of the ascension process. And so, conscious co-creation is the logical conclusion of awareness and alignment. When you awaken to who you truly are, when you align your frequency with your soul's vision, something extraordinary happens. You stop living life by default and you start living life by design. By design. And what does that mean? It means that you no longer let outside conditions dictate your choices. You no longer let outside situations or circumstances tell you who you are, who you can or cannot be, what you can or cannot do. You begin to create from focused thought and vision, not from the physical limitation. And there's something even more powerful than that, because you realize then that you are never creating alone. You are always in co-creation with your environment, with the people around you, with the universe itself. The universe is our ecosystem. We live in this ecosystem of consciousness expanding. And so we, as living in this ecosystem, are called to expand our consciousness, to grow, and to become more and more aware. This is the new paradigm. This is the new understanding of being. Expanded consciousness expressed through courageous action and soul-aligned action. So through us, as energetic beings, as women, as leaders, the shift is embodied through us. And this is why I am so passionate about this work, is because when women step into conscious co-creation, everything shifts, everything changes. When women rise this way, they don't just transform their own lives, they ripple this transformation into their families, communities, and beyond. And that is amazing. When women live as conscious co-creators, they don't just make choices, they set new standards. They model a new way of living. Extraordinary. When women choose alignment, they rise not only for themselves, but for humanity. This is not just personal growth. This is leadership. This is leadership. This is what it looks like when women step into their true power. The leadership of conscious co-creation for the rise of the whole of Earth's humanity. I love that sentence. I love to say that. I believe it. So the shift, it's not out there and it's not in the future. It is right here. The shift is in me. The shift is in you. And so let's circle back to those 3 questions again from the beginning. So the first question was, where in your life are you running on autopilot? The second question was, what is it costing you to stay on autopilot? And the third question was, what would become possible for you if you choose alignment? And think about it for a second. With all the information that you have now, are your answers different from what they were 20 minutes ago? And if so, the shift that you're feeling, that's not the questions, it's not me, it is you. The shift that you feel is you. It's your consciousness expanding. That is your soul reminding you autopilot is not your destiny. Autopilot is not your destiny. Alignment is. Alignment is your destiny. And this is why I do what I do. Because I believe that when women rise into alignment and clarity, confidence, and soul-aligned vision, they transform not only their own lives, but all women spark the collective transformation. We women become the living proof of the new paradigm. The shift is here. And your next step is simple. Say yes to the whisper of your soul. Listen. Say yes to the life your soul has been calling for, the life your soul came here to live and create. And if you're ready to go deeper, if you're feeling that nudge right now to align, know this. This is the work I live for. This is my calling. Through my coaching and my book, I walk women through the ascension process, from autopilot to aligned, from fear to freedom, from longing to actually living. So if you're ready to take the next step, I invite you. I invite you to connect with me personally for a conversation about your journey and what's possible for you. You can scan the QR code here on the page. It will take you to my website, and you can scroll down the page and schedule a totally free call for a conversation about what's possible for you. You can also download this PowerPoint presentation in the resource section here, and you can go back to it whenever you feel the call. I want to tell you that the new paradigm, it's not just an idea, it's not just words on a page, it's not a concept. It is a way of being. It is a way of creating. And it's available to you right here and right now. A new way of being, a new way of creating. And so I want to thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for rising. Thank you for being the change the world is calling for. So I see you. I love you. And I'm ready to answer any questions you may have. Maybe